This is the hard part, apparently.
Court of Appeal in for the 5th District of the State of Florida's County Session. The Honorable Brian D. Lambert, Chief Judge, presiding. All persons having business before the court draw near, give attention, and you will be heard. May God save the United States of America, the state of Florida, and this honorable court.
Thank you, Marshall. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's please stay standing while our clerk of the court right here, Sandra Williams, provides us the invocation. Yes, ma'am.
Bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we lift up these candidates for admission to you. With their admission to the Florida Bar, they are being given great power today. We ask that with their new power, they retain a spirit of humility and graciousness, for not in every instance will they prevail. And as they have treated others, they may likewise be treated. Help them to build up their stores of compassion and goodwill. Give them the wisdom to understand that not every loss is a loss, and not every win is a win. They must learn from both. Gift them with the endurance necessary to prepare each case fully and to present it ably. Grant them discernment so that they can identify and reject half-truths and deception. Allow them to keep their clients' confidences in the face of temptation. Enable them to practice their new profession with integrity. Finally, Lord, help them to find and maintain a balance in their work and professional lives, as no person walks this walk alone. We ask your blessing on these men and women who stand on the brink of their new profession today. These things we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, please remain standing. Judge Adrian Soud to my left is going to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, have a seat. Welcome. Happy day today for all of you. Not typically thought of roaming into a courtroom as being a happy event for most people, but today it is, and we are very pleased to join you and your family and your spouse and friends in the celebration of your journey, long journey, to where you've come today, be soon to be members of the bar with all the rest of us. Let me just, a couple things before I don't forget them, and they're procedural things. If you have your oath with you today, make sure you sign it so that I can sign it and get it to Sandra, our clerk, so that we can get that all off to Tallahassee, and you can be recognized by Tallahassee as actually members of the bar. So if you haven't sent yours in already and you have it with you today, make sure you see Sandra before you leave. Again, that's Sandra. That's Sandra Williams. She is our clerk of the court. Let me introduce people while I'm doing that. The gentleman that just opened the ceremony, that is Aaron Soltz. He's our marshal with us. He's been with us about eight or 9 months. As announced by our marshal, I am Brian Lambert. I am the chief judge. My pleasure to preside over this. This is the last one I'm presiding over because we are having a switching of the chief judge in a couple months. So I'm happy to be here. I always enjoy coming to these ceremonies to take part in with you and your families. To my right, Judge John Harris. He is a member of the court. His dad used to be a member of this court as well, so he's kind of a legacy. If any of you remember the Animal House movie, he's one of our legacies here. To my left, Judge Adrian Soud. Judge Soud is one of our new judges that just came to us from Jacksonville the first of the year when we had our realignment, so he has joined the court. His father was a very well-respected judge up in the up in Jacksonville as well. To the far right over there is Judge Joe Boatwright. Judge Boatwright is one of our new members of the court as well. He was appointed by Governor DeSantis as well, beginning the first of the year. He was a county court judge in Putnam County. He is our first judge from Putnam County to ever be on this court, I believe. So we welcome him. And I always like this, to the far left, on the far left here is Judge Paige Kilbane. She is with us. She is also coming from Jacksonville. Very good trial lawyer and trial judge before. I'm not sure what she was, trial lawyer, but trial judge. She also joined the court with us on January 1. So we are pleased to have Judge Kilbane on the court with us as well. A couple other things. If you have cell phones or any other devices, please put those into mute so you don't disturb the process. One of the other things that's unique here today is when we have the swearing in of the inductees. Those of you, feel free to come up behind us with your cameras or whatever you need to use, your phones, to take a picture of your spouse, child, whomever, who is being inducted, so you can see them while it's happening, not looking at their heads from out in the audience. So when that process, I'll invite you up to do that. The other thing too, so we're going to have a test on all these things, but the other thing too is when we're all done with the ceremony, some of us will stay behind if you want to have individual pictures with us. Happy to do that. Pleased to talk to you about that. We are also, I believe, the Volusia County Bar Association has cake and cookies and punch or things of that nature in the law library. So come and join us there for a little while to celebrate your accomplishment. I think Judge Soud had a huge burrito too. I think he brought some of that to share from lunchtime too. So if you want to share that as well, that'd be fine. Congratulations. I don't know how much easier or plainer to say that. You've gone through a tough time. Law school in and of itself, we all remember, even those of us who went to law school about 105 years ago like me, it was a tough thing. The bar exam is an arduous thing, and you all have had the overarching effort of having to go through that through the pandemic. So, God bless you for your courage and strength and perseverance to get through that. Not only do we congratulate you, we all understand, those of us who have gone through the process, you don't go through this alone. You've had your friends, family support you through the process. You may not fully appreciate it as much as you're going through this, but they've lived through this with you, and at the end of the day, you probably couldn't have done it without them, whether you're knowing it or not. So I congratulate the family and friends for what they've done and how they've supported you. I agree. It is a privilege to practice law. You're about to embark on that process. The practice of law will give you many opportunities to have an intriguing and fulfilling life. It's a unique opportunity you'll have to help people in society. Take advantage of those opportunities. Take advantage, be curious, not judgmental. Live your life with that you're going to learn things. You learn things not only in law, but if you will learn many other things as you go through the practice of law. I was a trial lawyer, tried cases. I found out a lot about medical things, engineering things, construction. It was just an interesting educational process. The process of what you've learned doesn't end now that you get your ticket to be a member of the bar. Take advantage of those opportunities. I'm sure our other speakers will tell you about things to join. I encourage you to do that. You will be administered the oath of admission. Judge Kilbane will be administering the oath to you. She says she can do it without looking at it, so she says she's memorized it, so you can test her with that. But there's very, very important thing that you'll be taking an oath to uphold the Florida and federal Constitution. Keep the gravity of that in mind. I mean, you were talking about the founding fathers of this country who prepared the Constitution as a roadmap to how this country was to be governed and to evolve. And that's what you are swearing to uphold today. There are other things that's important that you'll be taking an oath to, that it deals with professionalism, but it talks about civility, integrity, fairness, abstaining from offensive personality. Keep those things in mind. I mean, we have these stereotypes that we see on television about how lawyers act and what have you. Your reputation is what you're going to establish early on, and it's up to you as to how to establish that reputation. Keep in mind, when you take this oath and you are members of this bar, you're one of us. So how you behave and how you act reflect on all of this. You are a lawyer 24/7. I mean, obviously you'll have your time to enjoy your family, friends, and do fun things, but at the end of the day, just like we sit as judges, you know, we are judges. You know, whether it's 9 o'clock at night, you're a judge, and people look at, they're going to look at you as lawyers, and they're going to expect, you know, we're going to expect you to uphold the integrity of the profession that you're about to join. You'll be having that oath administered to you in a few minutes. Please don't just put that on the shelf and never, you know, as a matter of course or practice, take it out once a year or so, look at it, remind yourself of what it is that you've just sworn to uphold and to do. Keep that in mind and help that guide you throughout the course of your profession. Okay, that's about as much as I can say in one breath. So, we will next proceed. We actually have an agenda here, so you don't just rely on me. The presentation of the successful candidates for the admission to the Florida Bar by Mr. Noel Lawrence on behalf of the Florida Bar Examiners. Let me tell you about Mr. Lawrence. He is the principal officer of the law firm of Noel G. Lawrence, PA, primarily practicing commercial litigation and federal criminal cases. Previously worked for an insurance defense firm prior to starting his own law firm in the early 1990s. He is a current emeritus member of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, which is responsible for the statewide entrance examination and character review of new Florida bar applicants, which you all just went through successfully. Previously, he chaired the Florida Bar's Law-Related Education Committee for several years and led the Florida Bar's Public Interest Law section. He was voted Attorney of the Year in 1994. He is a former president of the Jacksonville Area Legal Aid Board, was president of Florida Legal Services, a statewide legal aid organization, and a designated director of the Florida Bar Foundation. Mr. Lawrence also served as president of the National Bar Association Florida Chapter, D.W. Perkins Bar Association, and the Jacksonville Urban League Youth Auxiliary. He is local counsel for the City of Jacksonville NAACP and is alumni of Leadership Florida and Leadership Jacksonville. He graduated from Florida International University with honors and a double degree in international relations and criminal justice. He also obtained a master's degree in public administration and a law degree from the University of Florida. He obtained a certificate in political science from Cambridge University, Cambridge, England. He's a member of the Florida Bar, Jacksonville Bar Association, American Inns of Court in Jacksonville. He's also admitted to practice law in the United States Supreme Court, United States 11th Circuit Court of Appeal, and the United States District Court, Middle District of Florida. Not sure how he has time to be here with all this, but we are very honored and pleased to have Mr. Lawrence here with us to present the successful candidates for admission. Mr. Lawrence, thank you for coming.
Mr. Chief Judge, judges, may it please the court.
Yes, sir.
Pursuant to the rules of the Supreme Court relating to the admissions to the bar, the candidates before you, Your Honors, have been rigorously examined by the board, both as to the knowledge of the law and understanding of the standards and ideals of the legal profession. In addition, their backgrounds have been subjected to searching character and fitness investigations. On behalf of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, I certify that these candidates are fully qualified and that each enjoys the enthusiastic recommendation of the board for admission to the bar of Florida. The first individual is Christy E. Earls.
So when you hear your name, come on up and the marshal will line you up to get ready for the oath. Probably maybe step back a little bit, and there we go. And we'll line you up, man.
Roger B. Fenderson. Jeray R. Ings. Lorenzi Juanel Laura. Sydney Nix. Ryan Scott. And Your Honors, last but not least, Kara M. Wright. On behalf of the board, Your Honors, I move that these candidates be admitted to the Florida Bar.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Let me ask, is there anybody else that's out there who is here for admission and who's qualified to do that, not just decide, hey, that's the thing to do today. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence. Okay, next we are going to have Judge Paige Kilbane administer the oath of the attorney. Any of you family members, come on up and come up behind us. You want to take pictures of this august group here today as they are being sworn in. Yeah, go to the podium. Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Come on, you don't be shy. You want to get a straight on view here, you can come on behind me. Come on up. Come on up.
You want to get to the middle?
Come in and get in the middle. Come stand all behind. Don't be shy. Come on. Wherever you get the best view to take a picture of.
Here. Everyone, here. Thank you.
You want them when they have their hands up too, swear on that? All right.
You can say it on the head.
All right, everybody ready? Come on, and keep coming, or keep moving down, and whatever you get a good picture. All right, Judge Kilbane, go ahead.
Okay, so everybody can raise their right hand. This is lengthy, so get ready. All right, I do solemnly swear. I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Florida. I will maintain the respect due. To courts of justice. And judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain any suit. Or proceedings which shall appear to me. To be unjust. Nor any defense. Except such as I believe. To be honestly debatable. Under the law of the land. I will employ for the purpose of maintaining. The causes confided to me. Such means only as are consistent. With truth and honor. I will never seek to mislead. The judge or jury. By any artifice. Or false statement of fact or law. I will maintain the confidence. And preserve inviolate. The secrets of my clients. And I will accept no compensation. In connection with their business. Except from them. Or with their knowledge and approval. To opposing parties in their counsel. I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility. Not only in court. But also in all written and oral communications. I will abstain from all offensive personality. personal to myself, the cause of the defenseless or oppressed, or delay anyone's cause for lucre or malice. So help me God. Congratulations.
All right. Congratulations. Everybody got their pictures? We're good? Pictures? Okay. All right then. Well, just thank you, Judge Kilbane. Nice job with the oath. All right. We'll let everybody get back to their seats and let the inductees get back to their seats, and we'll have Mr. Bonamo. There you go. There he is. I see him. Okay. Better than Molly. So that one had a good picture. These two. That's right. She'll be our designated oath giver from now on. Yeah, you'll be the designated oath giver from now on.
No, I'm printing with apron.
You're Dan? Okay, next we're going to hear from Mr. Philip J. Bonamo. He is representing the Florida Bar. Let me tell you a little bit about him. Well, actually, a lot of bit about him. He is a licensed attorney with the Florida Bar for almost 27 years. He's an AV-rated attorney by Martindale-Hubbell, which rates attorneys. He is a partner at the Rice Law Firm located here in Daytona Beach, Florida. His practice areas are concentrated in marital and family law and criminal defense. He's considered a specialist in the area of marital and family law and has been a board-certified attorney by the Florida Bar in the area of criminal trial lawyer for 20 years. He received his JD degree from Stetson University College of Law. While in law school, Mr. Bonamo was extensively involved in Stetson's trial practice and clinic programs. Prior to attending Stetson University, he received his Bachelor of Arts degree with honors from the University of Florida. Prior to going into private practice, he was a prosecutor for a total of 9 years, having worked as an assistant state attorney for the 7th Judicial Circuit in Florida, which is where we are right now, and was also an assistant U.S. attorney for the United States Attorney's Office, Middle District of Florida. Mr. Bonamo is the elected representative of the Board of Governors of the State of the Florida Bar for the 7th Judicial Circuit, serving currently on the Board of Governors Rules Committee, Disciplinary Procedural Rules Committee, and the Disciplinary Review Committee. So you want to avoid seeing him. Mr. Bonamo is an advisor attorney for the Florida Bar's Lawyer Advising Lawyers program. He previously served as a mentor for law school students in Florida through the Florida Bar's e-mentor program. He's a former board member and officer for the Volusia County Bar Association, and is also last but not least, a prior president of the Volusia County Bar Association. Mr. Bonamo?
Thank you, Chief Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all, let me say again, as echoed by Chief Judge and others today, congratulations. This is a big day. I think, aside from the birth of my children, passing the bar was probably one of the most momentous events in my life. And as Chief Judge said earlier,
Are you still married? Is that one of the days, too? That was a good day. That's a big day, too. There you go. All right. Thought to help you out there.
so I want to welcome you on behalf of the Florida Bar to the bar, and congratulations. As many of you know, the Florida Bar is a unified, integrated bar and has been here in place in the state of Florida since 1950. And what I'd like to basically state to you all today, as new members, is I encourage you as new lawyers, on behalf of the Florida Bar, to take advantage of the resources that are available to you through our state bar system. We have a great Florida Bar website to start with, and many of you may have already been on that for certain reasons or just to be educated, but there are certain programs, certain resources I quickly want to go through with you today that I think are very important seminars, meet other attorneys around the state, meet judges and other court officials. But from time to time, as when needed, take advantage of that being fuel sealing program through Florida Bar. Also, as Chief Judge Lambert indicated in his introduction, I am part of what's called the Lawyers Advising Lawyers program. And I've been with that program with Florida Bar for several years, and I enjoy it as a mentor. Take advantage of that. You know, whether you're working for a government agency, whether you're going into private practice, whether you're hanging on a shingle as a sole practitioner, or part of a law firm, there will be mentors, so to speak, within your zone of practice. And take advantage of that. But also, if you ever have any questions and concerns about certain things, and you will, I guarantee it, that come up daily in your practice, the Lawyers Advising Lawyers program is a great resource to try to connect through the Florida Bar with lawyers in your practice area that you can bounce questions off of, you can contact. And I can tell you, I have enjoyed that process and program for years, and I enjoy speaking with lawyers of all practice years, but mostly new lawyers, and I would encourage you to take advantage of that through the Florida Bar. Also, there's an ethics hotline, and I can tell you that the Bar Council of the Florida Bar are excellent in giving you confidential advisory opinions on issues that come up. There will be times in your practice where you look to the rules of professional conduct. You'll talk to certain people, but still you have questions about how you proceed in a particular area. And am I abiding by the rules of professional conduct? To the court, the tribunal, to the opposing counsel, to my client. And the practice of law is great, but it is sometimes complicated. And take advantage of those ethical hotlines to make sure that you feel comfortable before you proceed is the key. And take advantage of that ethical hotline in Florida law. Also, there is what's called the Mental Health and Wellness Center as part of the Florida Bar. Being a lawyer is stressful. It is a privilege, and as Chief Judge Lambert said, it is an honor to be a lawyer, and it is a great profession. I've been now almost 28 years in this profession in various different capacities, but it's stressful. Anyone will tell you that is practicing law, whether it's a trial lawyer, transactional, doesn't matter. You have to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Take advantage of if there's things in your life that are causing you undue anxiety, undue stress related to the profession, there are people there to help. And that is not a stigma, that is not a negative. There is positives to be gained from taking advantage of the Mental Health and Wellness Center. As far as getting involved, as new lawyers, it is great to learn about what's out there in other parts of the state, what other lawyers are doing, and to network both in your local community through the Florida Voluntary Bar Program. I was involved in the Volusia County Bar Association for many years, and every county, every circuit throughout the state, for the most part, has their voluntary bar. I encourage you to get involved in volunteering with them through any type of pro bono programs they have, but also to join the bar, become a member, and to network, but also maybe work in the bar, in your voluntary bar association. And they were great people. It was a great experience. I enjoyed it very much. There's also a leadership academy. I won't go into great detail about that today for you in this here at the ceremony, but I encourage you to look into that again on the Florida Bar website. The Leadership Academy is in its 11th year now, I believe, and it was founded under the goal of really to enhance the ideals of professionalism and to engage in issues facing the legal profession throughout the state. And it really deals with ethical, professional, and public service issues. And I've talked to people that have gone through, not only helped run the program, but have gone through the program, and they have gotten a tremendous amount out of it. I can't overemphasize the Leadership Academy and the service it does. Again, take advantage of lawyers that are around you. Lawyers are here as a profession. We are here as a body. And also talk to judges in your community. I can't tell you how many judges, both at the county, the state court, circuit, appellate, that have been mentors for me to give me good advice as I was starting about how to approach things, how to listen, and take advantage of those opportunities if you can in speaking with the bench on those things as being a lawyer and in your community. So again, congratulations to all of you, to the families. Congratulations to you as well. This is a big day for all of you. And remember this day as you go on in your practice. And so stay calm, stay focused, stay always diligent and professional. And you know what? I think you'll enjoy the profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Benalma. Good words. Okay, one of the traditions that we've had throughout the years is that we asked one of your newly admitted attorneys to give us some remarks. And we choose the person from the list of people who have performed well on the bar exam itself. Today we are fortunate to have Miss Christy Earls. She is here today to give a speech. Miss Earls was one of the top scorers on the Florida bar exam that you all just took. She's here in local Daytona Beach Shores, I believe, and she earned an Associate's of Science degree from Daytona State College, graduating as a top student in her paralegal studies program. From that point forward, she obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in legal studies from the University of Central Florida, very good program there in Orlando. During the spring of 2020, she was able to accomplish her longtime goal of enrolling in law school, and she graduated the top of her class in the fall of 2022 from Dwayne Andreas School of Law, which is Barry University in Orlando. During college, she volunteered with the Orange County Bar Association's Legal Aid Society and as a guardian ad litem for Volusia County. During her last semester of law school, she began as a law clerk in the insurance defense practice group at Smith, Bigman, Brock, person after my old heart, an old insurance defense attorney. And she will continue on there at that law firm as an associate attorney after she is sworn in today. Ms. Earls, you have the floor.
Judge Lambert?
Yes, ma'am.
Members of the court, may it please the court. I am honored to be here today to share a few words with you, but more importantly, to share the privilege of becoming an officer of the court in the great state of Florida. I remember the first morning of the January bar exam. I woke up well before my alarm went off, and I knew that there was no way that I was going to be able to practice. For those of you who haven't taken the bar exam, just imagine the way a child feels on Christmas morning, so excited to run downstairs and open up their presents. Now try to imagine whatever the opposite feeling that is. And that's probably the best way I can describe how I felt that Tuesday morning in Tampa. Since I knew I wasn't going to be able to get back to sleep, I decided to try to go to the hotel gym and do a quick exercise, try to release some stress before sitting down for this test. And one of the first machines I saw in the gym was a Peloton. For those of you who aren't familiar, it is a stationary bike. It has a little video screen on it, and there are instructors who coach you through cycling classes. So I picked a mountain climbing course, and a few minutes into the video, the instructor said, "This isn't going to be easy. You're going to feel like you might not be able to make it to the top. But just remember that everything you've done up until this point has prepared you to push through when things get tough, and you're going to make it to the top of this mountain." So I definitely cried on a Peloton in the hotel gym the morning of the bar exam, but I was also reminded that some of the best metaphors for life can come from really unlikely places. So those of us here who took the oath of the attorney today, we met a mountain that was law school, and we struggled our way to get up to the top. And when we got there, we hardly had enough time to stop and appreciate everything we accomplished. We were already on our way down that mountain and heading up another mountain, preparing for the bar exam. which for many of us felt more insurmountable than law school. But because of everything that we had done up until that moment, along with the help of all of the people in our lives who supported our journey along the way, we were able to conquer that climb and accomplish what we worked so hard to achieve, that passing score that would bring us to this momentous day. So of course the bar exam isn't going to be the last mountain that we'll climb. There's no doubt that we've all chosen a path that will be full of challenges. But whatever comes next, let us not forget that everything we have done up until this point has prepared us to find our success in whatever adversity we face. So as we begin practicing law, may we surround ourselves with members of the legal profession who operate with honesty, integrity, and with respect for the legal system and the judicial process, and may we follow closely in their footsteps. We must resolve to be professional, to strive for nothing less than excellence, and as was mentioned at the beginning, we have to follow the golden rule of treating others how we want to be treated, both in law and in life, with our colleagues, with our adversaries, with our clients, friends, families, and even strangers. So lastly, may we never forget the significance of the oath that we have taken here today. As proud servants, that is something far bigger than any one of us in this building. Counselors, let's go climb some mountains.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Earls. Good advice. Okay, we're coming to the end of the program here. These are my closing comments here. And saying, oh, good. Finally, that guy's going to be done talking there in the middle. Let me just say a few things. Remind you that the Volusia County Bar has refreshments in the library. Please feel to join us after that. Again, some of us will stick around, come up here in the well here, and we'll take pictures with you if you want. And again, make sure if you have your oath and you haven't signed it, to bring it to Sandra so that she sign it in front of her, and I will sign it, and we'll get it off there. Closing remarks. You know, there's various styles about what chief judges do when they do closing remarks. Some people quote from these very wise, Winston Churchill, FDR, historical figures that say very smart things. I'll try to say smart things, but I'm not sure how historical it'll be. Here's a couple thoughts that I pass along to you. When I was a young man, I've been married almost 36 years, come next month. One of the good friends of mine was getting married, and his father-in-law-to-be passed along this piece of advice to him that resonated with me over the years. I'm not sure my wife thinks I've taken advantage of it, but one of the things that the fellow told his soon-to-be son-in-law is there'll be many opportunities in your marriage to stay quiet. Take advantage of every one of those opportunities to say nothing. Hand in hand with that, he said, be a better person for your spouse, not because you have to be, but because you want to be. Okay, I'm starting like I'm breaking off into marriage counseling here. What does that have to do with what we're talking about today and what you've just embarked upon? First, taking advantage of the opportunity to stay quiet. In the oath that you took, you pledge fairness, integrity, and civility not only in court but also in the written and oral communications. You will find in many times in your practice, whether it's trial lawyer or other things, that you'll be just aggravated at the other side, because each side you've all sworn to zealously represent your respective clients, and your respective zealousness may irritate the heck out of the other side, and they may irritate you. You not remembering these words here, and you write something, say something, email something, text something that could stay with you and hurt your reputation for a long time. And once your reputation is lost, it's hard to sometimes get that back when you're dealing with judges and other lawyers and your clientele. So many times you'll have an opportunity when you're aggravated in this practice to say nothing. Keep that in mind. Always reflect, take some time. And the second about being a better person for your spouse, not because you have to be, because you want to be. It's the difference between ethics, what you have to do, what you've taken an oath to do, and professionalism, what you should be doing, that you want to be a better person in the practice of law. So that's my. So you're getting a double header today. You're getting marriage advice and advice in the world of practicing law. You need to understand the balance. I mean, this is a consuming profession. It can be almost too encompassing if you let it. So you have to remember to give yourself time to enjoy your life. But make no mistake, the most important thing that you'll find to improve your practice, improve how you are perceived, is your work ethic. The job that we all have here, us judges up here, it's an appointed position. We go and we see the governor. We get through a committee and we go see the governor, and the governor at the time decides whether to appoint us or not. It can be a process. It actually took me 8 times to get on this position. This guy spent a lot of the time with me going there because he had a few visits as well. And one of the, Governor Scott, I believe, asked me, what's the most important thing about being a judge? And I said, to work. You think, well, be real smart and do smart, judgy things and stuff. Work, because you'll find in your profession, whether you're a judge, you end up being a judge or whatever type of an attorney you'll be, when you work as the boss, the people who work with you will work. And you'll end up providing a better work product to your clientele and to the system and to the profession that you've now joined. Couple of things following what Mr. Bonamo was saying. Don't be afraid to ask for advice. Don't think you know it all now. You're probably very smart to have passed the bar into that. Be open to advice. And by that I also mean be open to opportunity, to be flexible. I am the first person in my family ever to have certainly a lottery, any degree, any kind of college degree. I never wanted to be a judge when I was a lawyer. I never thought about being I came from Detroit. I came down to the University of Florida, didn't know anybody here. Started off in law school. I'm sure they were convinced after my first year of law school that they invited the wrong guy to the University of Florida. They said, that can't be the guy we thought that we wanted because he's not doing very well in law school. So, you just kind of, you hang in. When I got out of law school in 1981, so I'm kind of telling you, so I don't know where you all are in your career paths now, but my point being that all this at the end is don't ever give up in your efforts in your process through this. I had one job offer coming out of law school in Ocala, making $12,000 a year coming out of law school in 1981. Then when I passed the bar, I was elevated to $14,000 a year, and I was renting a house from my parents who were charging me $400 a month rent. So I had zero money for most of early on in my career here. So I kind of plugged my way through, but I learned and I listened and I treated people fairly. I worked hard. I tried to absorb what things were. And there's certain things in life that opportunities come by for you. And you don't know, be open to that. 6 years into my practice of law, the lawyer in the offices across the driveway, he was representing somebody who committed a triple homicide. And it was a bad triple homicide. I mean, he came to the house and he killed the wife's parents right in there, and she ran out and she tripped, and he came over and basically executed her. And so he left the deceased wife with a 14-year-old son. So he was representing the fellow, and then the guy took off on a cruise and was hiding and used fake names, and he actually was found here in Daytona and was arrested and brought over to Marion County. But for me, I was asked to help in the civil aspect of those cases, the wrongful death suit, and I'm thinking, well, this isn't really going to be much to do because they're going to find this guy guilty, and that's going to be the end of it. But they didn't. They found him not guilty. So I then had to be involved in the civil stuff. And one of the first epiphanies that I had was this lawyer, who was one of the best trial lawyers I've ever seen. I practiced law for 42 years now, or I've been a lawyer for 42 years, or a member of the bar for 42 years. When I saw what he did to prepare, it was literally an epiphany, and I don't get spiritual about many things, but it opened my eyes about what it is to be a professional, to how to take this serious. I thought I was being serious my first 6 years of practice of law, and it gave me the opportunity to be a better lawyer and to be better for my clients and to be better for the process. Going down the road a little bit, I have children. I'm sitting in a Little League park, of all places, and me and this other guy who I don't know, we were asked to be managers because they didn't have enough fellows there to be managers. He happened to be an insurance adjuster who they just had opened an office in Ocala, and he looked at me, he says, well, what do you do? What kind of a practice do you do? He says, we're looking to hire somebody to do insurance work down here. And they insured small entities like the villages and other things like that. Kidding there. So I said, sure. I know that people have insurance, and I know I'm a lawyer, so off I went running. So I had an opportunity, and I took that opportunity. And he and I bonded over the year. Actually, if you've ever been involved in Little League, if you think practicing law is tough, that is a cutthroat event, being a Little League managers. So we ended up being the managers of the two worst teams. So we kind of bonded, and over the years, I was on the other side of cases of the Morgan & Morgan world. So I got to practice law and hone my ability in my profession to do that. And again, it's just being open to the opportunity of doing that. So where you are right now, you know, I can remember when I was in law school, my mother would send me newspaper articles and magazines saying, there's too many lawyers, you won't get a job, what are you doing, you know, all kind of that stuff. And considering my first year of law school, I wasn't sure she wasn't right at the time. But I persevered, and I encourage you to make that same effort to persevere. As I indicated, you know, took me 8 times to get here. I never thought I would be here, and you never know what it is that spurs you on to being there. I never wanted to be a trial attorney. I never really thought about being a trial judge once I was an attorney, but things happen, and here I am. I never would have thought 42 years ago, if you said I'd be sitting here as a chief judge on this court, I'd have thought you got to be kidding. But it happened, and the last thing I'll impart upon you is there'll be many times, we'll kind of throw back into the marriage part too, there'll be many times, hopefully not too many times, but there may be times in a marital relationship that you will sit back and think, what made me possibly think that this was a good idea, that I should be married to this person for the rest of my life? Now, my wife frequently says that about me, for probably good reason if you ask her. But there are moments. You will find moments here in your career that you say, you know, what made me think that this was a great idea as I'm working long nights and I'm having to do these things and the judge is always mad at me and my client isn't, you know, there'll be moments that you have that, and at some point, you know, you persevere. I always try to tell myself, think back to those times as to why it is, you know, when you first got married, why you did that, why you are here today, what possessed you to do that. Persevere, work hard, be collegial with people, be respectful of people, and they'll respect you. This job will give you many opportunities to do, you know, really cool things. I've had the ability to swear in 2 of my sons as attorneys, just like this. I was able to do that in when I was a trial court, I was able to go back to my old trial courtroom to do that. You know, those are moments you remember in your life, and hopefully you'll have those moments in your life. I was talking to this guy over here. The first time I ever sat on this court in 2002, I was an associate judge. I'd been a trial judge in Marion County for a couple years, and I was asked to come sit here. First time I ever sat right here on this court was with his dad. And actually, I think I'm in his office now. I am in his old office now, too. I mean, so it's kind of, you know, there's moments. This job and this profession will give you those moments. I hope you're able to take advantage of those, be open to those. I congratulate you and your family, and I wish you a good life. Take care. Last time I did this, I forgot Sandra's over there waiting to give a benediction. So I remembered this time. So Sandra, why don't you close it out for us? I wrote it down this time.
Lord God, we thank you for this opportunity to share in the joy of these new attorneys. This is a momentous occasion. We thank you for their excitement, their goals, their dreams. We thank you for their eagerness to use their talents. May they use their talents to their fullness, with upright hearts, and in a manner pleasing to you. We ask your blessing on this honorable court, the attorneys within, and the families, friends, and loved ones
Amen. Okay, we stand adjourned. Congratulations, everybody, once again. We'll be open for pictures here. Yes, certainly.
Judge, thank you very much for being part of the proceedings.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
God bless you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
We go down. Chief won't let me.
I sat down before.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
God bless you.
Do you want to?